All right, so I'm going to talk about the structure and the grading in this class. So I divided up this class into four sections. We have the exams that are worth 40% of your grade. So this is the heaviest weight right here. So just make an effort to really study for these exams. The BEAST or the research project is worth 20%. I have a couple of activities that are worth 20%. And then the lecture notes and the quizzes are worth 20%. So let's talk about the exams. I'll do reviews for the exams before each exam, so you don't have to worry about the content of the exams until later. But we're going to do a pre-test. This is to make sure that everybody can work with the lockdown browser and see the images. So this should just be a free 100 right here. And then the first test is usually the most difficult for my students. And it's the ones where they score the lowest. So that has the lowest weight on it. And then the unit 2, unit 3, unit 4 are worth 30% each. With the activities, I am going to send you out to complete these two tasks. I'm going to send you to the art museum. So you need to be able to travel to the art museum. Some students are not driving yet. So, work with parents or work with friends or find a way to be able to travel to the museum and also to the library. You will need to go to the library and check out books. I'm going to give you more specific instructions later on, but you need to start thinking about getting a library card or getting a Lone Star ID if you don't have one yet. If you have a Lone Star ID, that'll work for the library. Also, if you have a Lone Star ID, I think that'll give you a discount at the museum. There's details about all of this later on in the course. All right, for each of the units, I'm going to give you lectures and you'll turn in, unit 1 notes, you'll turn in unit 2 notes, 3 notes, and unit 4 notes. I have calculated how many hours of video that you'll be watching in my online class. And for this class, the 1303, it's somewhere between 24 and 36 hours. In a normal semester, I am asked to teach 48 hours worth of content. And so the other hours come from videos of instructions on how to do the different assignments for your research project. This course right here, there are a lot of chapters for 1303. I think 1304 has only 10 chapters and 1303 has 25 chapters. So there'll be quizzes on all of these. These quizzes are relatively short. My students tell me they can finish a quiz and the reading that comes with it in like 10 to 20 minutes for each one. All right, the BEAST or the research project is worth 20% of your grade. And I'm going to give you more details about this later on, but basically, in a nutshell, it is 9 assignments that are aligned around one work of art that you are going to choose. This first assignment here is you're going to choose an artwork, and then these other 8 assignments are based on that artwork that you've chosen. And then all of this makes up the final product. I'll go into detail about this later on in the course. All right, so let me talk about grading for a second. I try to be fair in my grading and I try to be efficient in my grading. I remember when I was in college, and it wasn't too long ago, I was getting in grad school for art history. I try to model my teaching style on the professors that I liked the most, and I respected what they did. Or one of the things that professors that I liked did consistently was grade in a timely manner. I had one professor who graded everything instant. I don't know how he did it, but he graded everything instantly. I try to be efficient. I'm not that efficient, but within a couple of days after you submit your assignments, I really try to get that grading done. If I'm taking too long, feel free to message me through D2L. Feel free to send me an email. I try to grade in a reasonable amount of time. All right, now the exams and the quizzes, those are graded automatically. So once you're done taking a quiz, once you're done taking an exam, you should be able to see your grade instantly in D2L. The other ones, the BEAST or the research project, the activities and the lecture notes, I grade those by hand, and those are the ones that I try to get done in an efficient time period. Let me talk about my late policy. So, with most of my assignments, there is no turning things in late. So, with the exams, it's a hard deadline. Once the due date passes for that, the exams turn off and you will not have access to them. The same thing with the activities. Once the deadline passes, you will not have access to them. The lecture notes and the quizzes are the same. The one exception is the previews of the Beast. The previews are these assignments right here, and I will go into detail about how that works. But the final product for the Beast, the research project, it is a hard deadline. Once that deadline or due date passes, you will not have access to that assignment. So you have access to my syllabus. I am going to be creating a due date sheet. It's just a list of all the due dates. And then also I'll be creating for you a plan for the semester with due dates on there. These 3 documents I am giving to you so that there is never an excuse not to know when due dates are. So please pay attention to due dates. All right, so along with this discussion of due dates, I have a life lesson for you. And my life lesson for you guys is don't wait until the last minute to get things done. And along with that, another life lesson is Murphy's Law. It says that if anything can go wrong, it will. So in those last minutes that you are waiting until to turn in something might happen. Either you have technology problems or you have a medical issue or something like that, and you're unable to turn it in because at that time when you're trying to turn it in, something happens. So I understand that technology does not cooperate all the time. Please, please, please turn things in early so that when your technology doesn't cooperate, that you can fix that technology with time to turn in your assignment. Do not wait until the last minute. And especially with my online students, I have lots of students that email me about the issues that they're having with technology and they're unable to turn this in or turn that in. And I have been told by my superiors to be tough on due dates. I'm going to tell you right now, I sympathize with your plight. I empathize with your plight. I'm sorry that you're having trouble with your technology, but I cannot let you turn something in late. Also, I'm aware that sometimes there is a family emergency and the situation is still the same. Please, please, please turn things in early so that if you do have a family emergency, medical emergency, I've had students email me from the hospital that a relative is in the hospital, that they're in the hospital, and they were unable to access the hospital Wi-Fi and turn something in. So please, please, please turn things in early so that when these situations do happen, you have time to have a workaround. You can be able to get your stuff turned in on time and get those in safely. And also, I have sympathy and I have empathy. I'm sorry that you're having a medical emergency. I'm sorry that your family is having an issue, some drama, but I've been told by my superiors that I cannot allow for late work. So please, please, please don't gamble with your grade. Don't roll the dice with your grade. Please turn stuff in early. Then when things happen, you have time to fix it. All right, that's it for now.